Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Millerick. Today's video lesson is going to be your last video lesson about friction. Okay, so let's just go back and review what friction is. Friction is a force, just like pushes and pulls, right? And it's a force that slows down moving objects, so it creates resistance. And there's a little girl there to help you with your visual of what friction looks like, and she's running in this direction. Well, it says she's moving, but it looks like she's running, right? And then in the opposite direction is the force of friction, because the grass and her feet are having friction between them, okay? And last week, what we did was a friction lab all about low friction, or finding the least amount of friction. And here are some great examples, right? Going down a slide, there's very little friction. You slide right on down and it happens fast. Writing on a chalkboard, low friction. Skating on ice is very slippery, low friction. A tile floor, low friction. And a surfboard, you're going to have low friction with a surfboard, right? That's what you guys were testing out last week. And the cool thing about those tests that you did is that some of you came up with totally different answers than others, right? For Ms. Millerick, the aluminum foil had the least amount of friction. That means that my toy car went the furthest. But with some friends, it was the wax paper, which is really cool. When you do an investigation, you're going to have different outcomes than others. I want to show you all about this cool investigation I found. This guy, Science Max, does an activity with the least amount of friction in mind.
Today on Science Max Experiments at Large. Hey, Science Maximites, slippery, but that's okay because today we're talking about friction. Friction is a force that is everywhere and happens when any one thing rubs against any other thing. We do lots of things to increase friction, like wear shoes with big treads on them. And we can do things to reduce friction, like the experiment we're doing today. We're gonna build a hover disc, and it's very easy. You take some cardboard and cut it into a circle, just like this. Then put a hole in the middle of the circle. You might want an adult to help you with that. And then take a plastic drink bottle cap, like this. I like to use the ones that you get on sport bottles because they have a little nozzle that pops open or closed. And then you glue it around the circle and you get this. Then you need a balloon. So you blow up your balloon. I know you know that step. And then twist the balloon so it doesn't get away from you. When it's nice and twisted, you can stick it over the drink bottle cap like this, and then untwist it. And this is why I like to use the plastic drink bottle caps that come from sport bottles, because you can open it when you want. And when you do, your disc rides on a cushion of air, reducing the friction with the table, and it's almost like it's sliding on ice. You can also use CDs if you want to do a different design. Just make sure you're using CDs you never want to listen to again.
Pretty cool experiment, right? And that is how you can try to create less friction. We know that less friction means that things are just moving all over the place, slipping and sliding. So Ms. Millerick is confident that you guys really understand low friction. What we're going to do today is we are going to hyper-focus on high friction. At the end of this video, when you begin your own activity, you're actually going to create and conduct your own friction investigation all by yourself. You get to create the constraints, the materials, whatever it is that you want to use. And you are going to be looking for surfaces that create high friction, right? And let's go back to the pictures that we sorted last week real quick, just to give us a quick reminder. So some high friction surfaces would be a rug, right? When you sit down on a rug, you don't slide all over the place, you just stay put because there's high friction. Same thing with the long grass and the girl running, there's high friction. And finally, sand. Sand is a surface that is going to create a lot of friction. Something else that high friction ends up creating is heat. Remember when I taught you guys how to understand friction by rubbing your hands together really, really, really fast? Well, if you do that again, go ahead, start doing it, and you do it for like 30 seconds, what type of energy do you start to feel? Not sound energy, not light energy. What is that you feel in between your hands? Ooh, that is heat energy that you feel. That's because when there's a lot of friction between two things, it creates heat. Think about how people used to make fires a long time ago, or if you go camping now, how do you create a fire? With 2 sticks, and rubbing those sticks together creates a lot of heat. I have a little prediction for you guys. What modern technology do we have nowadays that creates fires for us? What modern technology? So what invention do we have, and you probably all have it inside of your homes, that helps us light a fire really quick? If you want to light a candle, or if you have a fire pit in the backyard, how would you do it? Using a lighter, right? What do you think goes on inside of a lighter that is going to create that fire? Friction. So we are going to watch a quick mini clip of Science Max and his high friction activity.
Here is an experiment you can do at home with friction. This is a toy boat. Yes, you guessed that right. And this is a wooden plank. Correct, that's 2 for 2. I put the boat on the ramp and watch what happens. Nothing! The reason why is because the friction between the boat and the ramp is enough to counteract the force of gravity trying to pull it down. But watch what happens if I raise the ramp to the right height, the boat slides down because the friction isn't enough and gravity pulls it down. But when we change surfaces to this carpet, let's see what happens. Same angle, I can raise it higher, 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 because there's more friction between the carpet and the boat than there was between the wood and the boat. Now, if you're thinking that we're just gonna do it with a small ramp, you're wrong. Because of course we're gonna max it out. Hey, Helena.
Hey.
This is amazing.
Thanks, I made it myself.
Wow.
Ready to climb it?
Absolutely. Here we go.
Here you go.
Huh? No problem. So that was very easy.
Well, that's probably because the friction from your shoes is high enough so you don't slip.
Right. And the friction from my clothes is much lower, which is why I could slide down.
Right.
So how do we make it more difficult?
We probably have to make it higher.
All right, let's make it higher. With the ramp at a steeper angle, I'll need more friction to climb up. All right,
Ready?
I'm totally ready. Here I go. You try.
Okay, hold my drink. Here we go. Ooh.
Oh, so clearly we are not getting enough friction between our shoes and the ramp at this angle.
We should add some carpet because carpet would add some more friction between our shoes and the ramp.
All right, let's add carpet. Sorry, here's your drill.
Thanks.
All right, carpet.
Yeah?
Same angle.
Yes.
And why have we done this?
More friction.
More friction. Let's give it a try.
Hey, way to go.
Totally able to climb the ramp. So, what do we do now to make it harder?
Make it higher.
Make it higher. Wow, it's really steep.
I don't think you're going to make it.
Sure, if I take a really good run at it, I think I can do it.
I don't think so.
Well, there's one way to find out. No.
No.
Okay, so I can't do it. Is that it?
Well, how about Velcro,
Wow.
right? It'll give you more friction, so you can try climbing with this. We'll give you Velcro knee pads, Velcro shoes.
Velcro. Velcro handholds. Velcro knee pad. Velcro on my shoes. Helmet for safety. Velcro fill! Velcro dance! Okay, you ready?
Ready?
All right, here we go.
All right, so what do you think was happening there between the carpeted ramp and all those Velcro pads? Friction, of course. There was a whole lot of friction, but also there was heat energy. So when you do your own high friction labs today, you might start to notice that you create a little bit of heat between those surfaces. So, second graders, before you get started on your friction lab all by yourself, I just want to explain the worksheet to you so that you can record all of your results. Now, this worksheet is going to look very similar to last week's worksheet, except you're not looking for the least amount of friction. Remember, you're looking for the most amount of friction, and you have to predict what surface will create that first. Here's the trick. You are deciding which surfaces to use. So I'll show you the worksheet now. And here it is. So at the top, which type of material will create the most amount of friction when traveling down a ramp? Well, right here, number 1, for materials, you have to decide what goes in this space. What are you using? A ball, a marble, a toy car, whatever it is that you decide to use. Then down here, number 2, what 4 materials will you use as surfaces that create friction? You have to find 4 different materials in your house, and they cannot be any of the materials that you have already been using. So you can't use tile, you can't use wax paper, you can't use aluminum foil, and I also don't want you to use the materials that Science Max was talking about. So can't use carpet, and you cannot use Velcro, because you already know that those surfaces create a lot of friction, and that would defeat the entire purpose of investigating, right? I want you to figure this out all on your own, all right? So I hope you guys have a ton of fun. I can't wait to hear about what you learn, all right? And enjoy. Bye.